Just waiting for some people to join before we get started. Hi. Thanks for joining me today. Hi, Mick. How's everyone doing today? Hi, Chris. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Mark. We have 10 watching right now. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for saying I have a relaxing voice. That's a nice compliment. I'm doing good, thanks. Hello. All right, let's talk Scream. Let's start off with how many times have you watched Scream 6 so far? I've watched it probably 10 times. I am ready for the stew train to get to its destination. Four times, pretty solid. Seven times, nice. Favorite Scream theory? Definitely that Stu is still alive. Who is everyone's favorite character? It is very rewatchable, yes. I definitely think the original is the most rewatchable. I rewatch the original all the time. Kirby's one of my favorite characters too, for sure. That's okay if you're 4 minutes late. We just started. Can you rank your favorite ghost faces? I did do a video on that if you want to check it out. My favorite is definitely either Stu or Billy. Hey Daniel, thanks for joining. I do have Pluto TV. They do have the first three. The Badass Ninja, what's up? Thanks for joining us today. Chris, I'm also looking forward to seeing Stu in Scream 7. It has to happen. I mean, that's where it's leading. All roads lead to Stu. Hi, Brett. Thanks for joining. What do I think about Scream 6 ghost faces? They're not my favorite. Ethan is probably my least favorite. I liked Quinn's character, but she's not my favorite ghost face. I did like Detective Bailey. His reveal is growing on me. He's pretty funny. He has a lot of funny lines. Who is everyone's favorite ghost face? Comment in the chat. I do think that Gail could die in 7. I love Gail, but I do think it's her time. But if Gail does die, I want Sydney to be present for it. Mark, I do like Jill a lot. I think she's like number 4 in my ranking. Original 2 can't be matched, I agree. Do you guys think that Sydney will eventually die? Or do you think she's always going to survive? I think she could definitely eventually die. Yeah, Detective Bailey has definitely been growing on me. At first I thought his delivery was a little over the top, but he's funny. I like him. I do appreciate Richie a lot more now that we have a bit more backstory on him. I liked what they did with the him making like his homemade movies. I like that part. Yeah, I could see Sydney dying in like the last movie. I agree. The line from Detective Bailey when he's like, "Yeah, of course, me." I like that delivery too. I like that Detective Bailey was goofy. I feel like the actor watched Mickey's performance in 2 and kind of tried to imitate that. And at first I wasn't sure how I felt about that, but I like it. The bloopers of Detective Bailey were really funny. What is everyone's favorite quote from the entire franchise? Surprise, Sydney is a good one. I don't need friends, I need fans. Another good one. I always had a thing for you, Sid. Stu definitely has the best lines. I am working on a video where I'm going to be ranking all of Stu's quotes, so look out for that. Movies don't create psychos, movies make psychos more creative. That is one of my favorites as well. Do you guys think that Kirby could turn evil? What are your thoughts on that? I think it's a possibility. Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun. Definitely one of my favorites. You think Kirby will die in 7? It's possible. Zach, I agree. I love that part. Other than Stu, who do you think will be the Ghostface in 7? I think Christina Carpenter could definitely be a Ghostface in 7. I do think she's working with Stu right now. The creators have said that they would never make a past victim become Ghostface. But I think it might be time. I don't know. They really need to shock us with something. Do I think Kirby was really an FBI agent? I think she was. But I do think there could potentially be some truth to what Detective Bailey said about her being fired and being on a downward spiral. Daniel, yes, I know you're a Charlie believer. I am as well. I think Kirby had a few suspicious moments in 6. Like when she gets the phone call and we don't see who called her, and she leaves to answer it and we don't know who called her. I've asked this in my past live streams. Who do you guys think called Kirby in Scream 6? Chris, I can definitely see Chad dying in Scream 7. I think one of the twins have to die. I was expecting it to be Mindy in Scream 6 to kind of mirror Randy in Scream 2, but of course that didn't happen. Do I think Kirby is the third killer in Scream 4? That did cross my mind at one point. She does have that suspicious scene in the beginning of Scream 4 where she says to Jill that Sydney is the reason she loves horror movies. So before Scream 5 came out, I suspected that Kirby could be involved in Scream 5. What do you guys think about Danny? Do you think Danny could turn out to be a Ghostface in Scream 7? I love Danny. I love his character, and I do hope we see more from him in Scream 7. I would like to see him be a Ghostface, honestly. I did see I Shot Him 6 Times videos on it. Marcus has some good theories. I agree, they do have to take risks sometimes. Chad surviving was laughable. It kind of annoys me that 2 Ghostfaces tag teamed him and he still survived. I've said before, like, if you wanted Chad to survive, fine. But whoever was the victim of the 2 Ghostfaces should have died. They were stabbing Chad with rubber, yeah. I mean, he was stabbed like 20 plus times. I do think Chad is like the new Dewey. I think Dewey was stabbed like 9 times total. I think that's what he says in Scream 5. Who do you guys think will be the opening kill for 7? I think it could potentially be Danny or maybe Martha Meeks, the twins' mom. And that could be a way to get everyone back to Woodsboro. I don't really want Gail to be the opening kill because I want to see more from her in 7. Tara was stabbed a lot. She was stabbed like twice during the final act, and then she was just fine after that. Yeah, I think Gail dying could bring Sydney back. Jason, yes, I could see them bringing back a lot of old characters. Like you said, maybe in video form or flashback form. For example, Jennifer Jolie, we could see old stat footage of her, or maybe like a cast interview. I could see them doing a Randy video. I would really like that. Yeah, we might not get Scream 7 till 2025. I do want to see Joel, the cameraman, come back. There is a theory out there that he is the twins' father. They never revealed his last name in the movies, but if you Google it, his last name is Martin, and the twins are Meeks Martin. Yeah, maybe the opening kill will be Mark Kincaid. Yeah, as much as I don't want to wait till 2025, I do want them to take the time to get it right. Jason, I would like that for the opening kill to be a flashback of Maureen Prescott. Because then, if it's a Maureen Prescott flashback, we could see Stu in the opening scene, and then we'll be wondering the whole movie if he's going to show up at the end. Can't rush perfection, I agree. Paul, do you like Scream 6 more than the original? The original will always be my favorite. My favorite sequel is Scream 4, actually. I really like Scream 4. I think it does the best at recapturing the magic of the original. Yeah, Scream 1, 4, and 6 are the best, I agree. The bodega scene was really good. I just wish that they didn't give us so much in the trailers. I feel like, for example, the subway scene, the bodega scene, the ladder scene, they showed it all to us in the trailer. I feel like I would have been more blown away if they didn't show us any of that. Zach, I agree. I think it could take place in Hollywood again because Gail does say it's all about true crime now. So maybe Gail will be working on a true crime series. Devin, I agree. I think Scream 5 was really good and it has grown on me over time. I do think that the apartment attack was Ethan. I think I say in my Who Killed Who in Scream 6 video that it was Detective Bailey, but the creators confirmed that Jack Champion, the actor who plays Ethan, was in costume for that scene. So I do think it's confirmed to be Ethan. Do I think Gail will survive Scream 7? I don't know. I think there's a very good chance that Gail will die, especially if Stu returns, which I think he will. I could definitely see Stu finally killing Gail. Can I make a part 2 about Scream 7 theories? Yes. I just have to think on it a bit longer. What do I think about there being a second Ghostface in Scream 3? I mean, it's definitely possible. When they wrote the script, it was written with 2 killers in mind. And when you watch it, you can see that some of the scenes are shot as if there are 2 killers. And I think it was supposed to be Angelina. Do I think Dewey's death was done right? Was it done justice? I don't like the fact that it was Amber, and I don't believe it was Amber. I think it was Stu who really killed her for a lot of reasons, which I talk about in past videos on my channel. Yeah, I don't think it was Amber who killed Dewey. So let's say it is Stu, then I do think it was done pretty well. I see you're wearing the stripes like Jill. That did cross my mind before I even started this live stream. Will we get a flashback of Dewey's funeral? I don't know. I do hope that we get a Dewey flashback in general. I would love to see Dewey again. I've said before that I was so sure that we were gonna get a Dewey flashback in Scream 6, since it took place in New York, and Dewey and Gail used to live in New York together. I think that would have been perfect. Something for the fans to see Dewey again and have David Arquette involved, because he has said that he was upset that he wasn't in Scream 6. What do I think about Charlie's whereabouts? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think Stu's been in hiding this whole time. So maybe Charlie has been in hiding with him. The reason I doubt Amber killing Dewey is because, first of all, because of the height. I know that the creators say that we can't look at height and strength because it's a stuntman in costume. But I just think that's not fair to the audience. And there's a few Stu clues in that scene. You know, saying it's an honor. I just can't imagine Amber saying that. Like, that is something that Charlie actually said in Scream 4. And the fact that Ghostface gutted Dewey from groin to sternum, just like Stu said. I agree. A Dewey flashback when Gail was looking at the display would have been perfect. That was like the perfect time to do it. Something quick. It didn't even have to be that long. I agree. There should be a cult of ghost faces in Scream 7. I feel like that's where it's leading. I think I feel like Richie and Amber's message board was the cult that Stu is running, and I do think that Jason and Greg were also part of that message board. Daniel, I hope you're okay. Yeah, I do think that Amber and Richie were being used by Stu. And the fact that Jason said we have to finish Richie's movie, and there was the conspiracy theory that Sam was responsible for the events of 5, but Jason seemed to know the truth that it was Richie. Daniel, I don't mind being tagged in Scream edits. Devin, I think that the mastermind in Scream 7 will be revealed to be Stu. Because I agree with you. It'll mirror Scream 3, where we find out Roman was the mastermind. So I think for 7, it'll be Stu. Do I think Stu was managing Detective Bailey, Ethan, and Quinn? I don't know. I have thought about that. I think there's a chance that they were like rogue from Stu. But I don't know, because I do think it was Stu who attacked Gail and Quinn took credit for that. So, yeah, maybe they did know of Stu's existence. Brock, thank you for watching my videos. Do I think the writers will feel pressured to make Stu happen because it's grown to be a fan expectation? I just think that far more people want it to happen than don't want it to happen. So I think a lot more people will be upset if Stu doesn't come back. I think that they shouldn't be scared to bring him back because far more people want him to come back. Brian, that does look like Charlie right before the bodega scene when someone walks by Sam and Tara. That looks exactly like Charlie. Who do I think are the most brutal male and female ghost faces? I feel like Charlie's the most brutal. He has some of the most brutal kills, like with Olivia, for example. Female, I don't know. Jill, she didn't kill many people, but the fact that she could like mutilate herself like that was crazy. She's definitely the most psychotic. And then what she did to Trevor was pretty brutal. So maybe Charlie and Jill were the most brutal. Yes, I need to hear Stu say surprise Sydney once again in Scream 7. I feel like it has to be leading to Stu. There's far too many clues. And if it doesn't lead to him, I will just be so disappointed. It'll be so underwhelming. I've said before that I don't want to see a new killer again. It's lost its effect at this point. Yeah, you can kind of see Stu breathing still after the TV lands on him. And Stu does put his hands out to kind of catch the TV. Yeah, Matthew Lillard said that he's only going to come back if if Nev Campbell comes back. I'm confident that they'll work it out. Yeah, Kirby seemed a little different in Scream 6 from Scream 4, but I mean, she's older now. She's 30, so people change over time. I do think that Charlie looked as if he didn't really want to stab Kirby. I think that if they were able to kiss and Trevor didn't interrupt them, I think there's a chance that Charlie would have spared her. Does anyone think that that one line by Kirby in 6 was suspicious where she's talking to Tara and she said something like, I didn't want to be afraid of the monsters. I want the monsters to be afraid of me. That was pretty suspicious. Jill definitely has one of the best reveals. Yeah, I liked Kirby in Scream 6. I thought she was in it a pretty good amount. I liked that she was involved in the final act. Billy was definitely the most obvious, but he is the best. Most evil Ghostface? Probably Jill. I mean, she had her own mom killed. What do you guys think about Jamie Kennedy's theory that Randy faked his death? Jamie Kennedy has said that a few times in interviews. In my opinion, I think it's a little ridiculous. I love Randy. He's one of my favorite characters. And I would like to see him again, but I don't know. I think that would kind of take away from Randy's death, which was one of the most powerful. Yeah, Randy's probably dead. If Gail does die in 7, I want Sydney to be present for it. That would make it really emotional. I have a random question for you guys. So, in the first Scream, right before Sydney's first attack, Tatum says that she's at practice and practice ran late. What do you all think was her sport? Do you think she was a cheerleader? Was Tatum on the soccer team? I always wonder that every time I watch the first movie. Do you think that Tatum would be a cheerleader, or would she be the type to like make fun of cheerleaders? Because we do see a couple cheerleaders like in the background wearing their uniform. So I feel like if she was a cheerleader, we would have seen her in the outfit. Daniel, I agree. She would be a cheerleader but still make fun of cheerleaders. Paul, what cheerleader reference did she make? I don't recall. Do I like it? Yes. The original and the remakes. If I could have lunch with one actor from the Scream movies, probably Matthew Lillard. Um, to pick his brain on his opinion on Stu being alive. I am a fan of Child's Play and Halloween, yes. Fear Street I have seen and I did enjoy it, but I've only seen it once, so I don't really remember that much about it, to be honest. But I do like Sadie Sink. She's a good actress. I do have one ghost face mask. Which Halloween mask from the new trilogy was your favorite? Were they different? I don't know. I've only seen them once. I definitely need to rewatch them again. I have not seen the TV series for Chucky, no. Is it good? Should I watch it? Brian, they say to not look at the height of Ghostface though. Like, I mean, I disagree with that. I think the height should matter. But, for example, Amber was pretty much the same height as Tara. But when she kills Dewey, she's the same height as Dewey. Do I like the Scream MTV show? Yeah, it was good. I like the first two seasons a lot. I do wish they used the real Ghostface mask. Season 3, I don't remember too well, to be honest. But I do like Kiki Palmer. I think she was a good addition to that season. Brock, I also was annoyed that the quote, "I'm something different," didn't make it to the movie. I agree. I can't see Quinn throwing Brooks like that. They made an they made a point to emphasize that he had a lot of muscles. I think that was done on purpose to make us question the scene, because Stu does say in the original it takes a man to do something like that. Josh, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna be right back, guys. Please talk amongst yourselves. I will be back in a couple minutes. Okay, I am back. Pam went to get her ghost face mask. No. Oh no, I did say I'll be right back. Do I think Scream 7 will be the final movie? No, I do think that they will make more. Just because they do so well at the box office, I can't see them not continuing. Maybe they'll take a small break after Scream 7, and then maybe they'll continue with a new storyline. Like I said, I do think it's weird that they emphasize Brooke's muscles. I think that meant something. I feel like they didn't say for us to ignore the height until these new movies. I heard the creators say that it was actually Nev Campbell who told them to not look at height. I feel like before Scream 5, height did matter. It is a who done it, so we have to look at these clues. What if they're telling us to ignore the height and strength just to throw us off, because then we would figure out that it's actually Stu? That is a bit strange that Gail said they sure didn't help the muscles. I want Sydney to return. I think she needs to return, especially if Stu comes back. Matthew Lillard has said before that he won't return unless Nev Campbell does, so we need Stu back, we need Sydney back. Matthew admitting that he was called by the directors, that could just be for his little cameos in Scream 5, like he was the chrome face ghost face in Stab 8, and he did a little voiceover thing for the final act. He was one of the voices in the background, so that could be what he's talking about. What would I want to happen in the final Stu versus Sydney fight? I definitely want to hear Stu say, "Surprise Sydney," once again. I want to hear him say, "I always had a thing for you, Sid." As much as I love Gail, I would like to see Stu kill Gail. And I also want Sam to have a Billy vision while Stu is on screen, so we can see Billy and Stu on screen together again. Is Charlie Walker alive? It's not confirmed at all, but there was someone spotted in Scream 6 who looks exactly like him. I do talk about it in my past Charlie theory video, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I never noticed the padding in Charlie's shirt, but I will look for it next time I watch. Nick, thank you so much. Glad to have you here again. call. I agree. I would love just a 30-second teaser trailer for Scream 7. They gave too much away for Scream 5's trailer and Scream 6. And sometimes people tell me like you shouldn't watch the trailers because it gives too much away, but I can't not watch. But like I said, in Scream 6, they gave away so much for some of the big scenes. The bodega scene, the subway scene, the apartment ladder scene. Imagine how cool it would have been seeing those scenes happen if they didn't show it at all in the trailer. I feel like they literally showed us the entire bodega scene. Except for the part when they push the like shelves onto him. That was the only thing that they didn't show us for the bodega scene. I also wonder what Stu's dynamic with Sam would be. I wonder if he wants revenge on Sam since Billy kind of turned on him at the end. Or I wonder if he would want her to work with him in his cult. I could see it going either way. I could see him playing her, like making her think he wants her to join him and then turning on her in the end. Who was the killer in the bodega scene? I think it was Detective Bailey. There is a big debate amongst fans. It's very 50-50. But there is a new theory out there that it's possibly a fourth killer because I talk about it in one of my past videos, and so does Craven Something Scary. Because if you look at the timing, Detective Bailey calls Sam at like 9:57 p.m. and the bodega attack happened at 10:03 p.m. So that leaves 6 minutes for Bailey to get into costume and get to the bodega. But I can't see it being Ethan because he was just at Sam and Tara's apartment. And then Sam and Tara leave, and I don't see how Ethan would have also left and got past them. So I do think it's Detective Bailey because I think Jason lives very close to them. So it is possible that he just rushed and got ready, but it's a little, I don't know, it's a little suspicious. Ghostface popped right behind Tara, which was the exit of the building, so it could be Ethan. They did walk a little down the street. Not far, but they did walk a little bit down from their building. So that's not Sam and Tara's building that Ghostface pops out of. Matthew Lillard's cameo in Scream 2 was just because him and Nev were dating at the time. So I don't personally think that was a clue to Stu being alive. I liked that there were 3 killers in Scream 6. I just wish that they took a little more time with it. Like the final act, I wish they gave us a little more from it. And took the time to focus on each killer a bit more. Brock, I'm not sure if they list the name of the actor in the credits who was on the phone before the bodega. I don't know. But I should look into that. Daniel, I'll look out for that message from you. Jason, no chance of Greg still being alive. What's it feel like to be famous? I'm definitely not famous. But I do love having a little bit of a fan base now. I love chatting Scream with all you guys. It's so much fun. Yeah, you can kind of see Stu still breathing after the TV falls on him. The last shot of him, he's breathing a bit. Who would I want the ghost face to be in Scream 7 if Stu is not an option? I honestly would like Danny to be a ghost face. The creators said that they had all the actors audition with a ghost face scene because they didn't want them to know who the killer would be. And they said that his performance was fantastic. I like Danny's character. I would definitely like to see Danny as a ghost face. And I would like to see Kirby. I've said this before. I love her character and I would like to see her go dark for sure. I kind of was expecting Danny to be a killer in Scream 6. Yeah, I would like to see Danny and Stu team up. Danny does have that line in Scream 6 where he says to Sam, family can be rough. And I think that's pretty suspicious. Who do you think Danny's family is? Do you think he could be related to Stu? I don't think there's any chance of Billy Loomis coming back. He was shot in the head. And they emphasize that the killer can come back unless they're shot in the head. Would Danny be too old to be Stu's son? I guess it's possible that it could be his son. Because if he's the same age as Sam, Sam is Billy's son. So it's possible. Maybe Danny is Stu's nephew. Like Leslie Mocker is his mom, the same way Vince is Stu's nephew. I agree. It would be cool if Danny was a fourth killer in Scream 6 and he just didn't reveal himself. Because that's never been done before in the movies. We've never had a returning character reveal themselves later on. Brock, I agree. Seven's reveal will be that the killers in 5 and 6 are Stu's cult. I think that Amber and Richie were a part of his cult. I think that Jason and Greg also were. I feel like that's where it's leading to. That was the original script for Scream 3 when Stu was supposed to come back. He was supposed to be leading this cult. And I feel like they're going to do that in Scream 7. What would be Danny's motive? I don't know. I've said before, maybe he doesn't want to kill Sam. Maybe he is like obsessed with Billy Loomis and wants to carry on the Loomis bloodline. Why would Danny look shocked looking in Quinn's window? Maybe just to keep up the act so that Sam could believe he wasn't involved in it. I don't know. Have I seen the Scream fan film on YouTube? I have seen one, like a year ago at this point. I'm not sure if we're talking about the same one. Was it where the main character was Sydney's daughter? I think. Yeah, how did Danny have a giant ladder in his apartment? And it seemed to be right next to the window, like he didn't have to walk far to get it. I do think it's suspicious that Sam does say that Danny worked on the Upper West Side and Gail lives on the Upper West Side, and he conveniently shows up right after Gail's attack scene. Jason, do you mean like Stu was behind the scenes of 2, 3, and 4 as well? Because I never really thought of that. I think he's definitely been behind the scenes for 5 and 6. Right, Jill gets electrocuted in 4 and continues living after that. So I think that right there is some evidence that Stu could have survived being electrocuted. How long do I think before we can get Scream 7? I feel like it's going to be released in 2025. I think there's some things that they need to work out, like scheduling with everyone, since the directors are working on a new movie with Melissa Barrera as well. Jenna Ortega is very busy. Jasmine, who plays Mindy, is in Yellow Jackets, the show. I think that's why we haven't gotten an official announcement yet. I think they're finalizing everyone's schedules. How would I feel if Jill and Stu are the killers in Scream 7? I would love it if Stu was a killer. That's the number one thing I want. Jill, I would like to see her again as well. I've had no reason to believe that she's still alive. I do know there's a lot of people out there who want her to be alive. Technically, it's possible because she was not shot in the head. And I do think that that was the original plan. I think if they had gone on making the movies years ago after Scream 4 came out, I think that was the plan, to have her survive, get away with it, go to college in Scream 5. So yeah, I love Jill. I would love to see her again. I kind of want Scream 7 to be kind of a time jump after Scream 6. I think the characters should be a little older. Maybe Sam and Tara will be isolated the way Sydney was in Scream 3. Yeah, Emma Roberts did say that she doesn't feel she was done with Scream. I would even like to see a Jill flashback. I mean, maybe Kirby can have a moment where she's remembering the events of Scream 4. Maybe we can see some of the footage because Jill and Charlie filmed everything. That could be a fun way to get Emma Roberts involved without bringing Jill back from the dead. I don't believe the police board was a true confirmation of Stu being dead. I mean, my theory is that he faked his death. Therefore, it would be widely believed that Stu is dead. I think there are far more clues that point towards him being alive. I mean, we know that Stu being alive or dead is a debate amongst the characters as well, just like the fans in real life. And I think that Kirby saying that technically she died for 4 minutes, I think that was important. I did watch Halloween Ends, yes. I only saw it once though, so I'm not an expert. Least favorite character in Scream? One of the minor characters like Trevor or John Milton. Don't care for those. I'm not a huge fan of Angelina. Jason, I agree. Sheriff Burke was shady. I do think he was a friend of the Mocker family. I mean, Sydney says that she called the police. So what if Sheriff Burke got the call, heard Stu was one of the killers, and covered it up to help out his friends? Yeah, I think Samara Weaving's dead. Daniel, I think maybe Stu will have a beard. Just to show the drastic difference. He's older now. I can't see them bringing Billy back. He was shot in the head. Best killer reveal after the original, I think Scream 4. Jill had the best one after the original, for sure. Yeah, I could see Stu's face being scarred from the TV. I was very surprised by Jill's reveal, yes. Do I think Mickey could be alive? It's definitely possible. I don't think he was shot in the head. I've had no reason to believe he was alive though. And if anyone's gonna return, I want it to be Stu. Jason, that Stu Macher is Alive song is so good. If everyone here has not heard it, go check out Songs About Everything on YouTube. They wrote the Stu Macher is Alive song, and they just put out a new Billy's Mom song. So go check out their channel. my dream Ghostface lineup. Um, Billy and Stu, maybe Jill, and Charlie. I think those are my 4 favorite. Billy, Stu, Jill, and Charlie. The Stu song is our national anthem. Mrs. Loomis's reveal was pretty shocking. I like that she was involved throughout the whole movie. And I like her performance in the final act for sure. It's not like over the top, it's very believable. I like that she says her motive is just good old-fashioned revenge. Why did I like Charlie as a Ghostface? I think he was one of the most brutal, honestly. He had a lot of brutal kills, and I think he was really good on the phone. His phone conversations were really good, like on the phone with Kirby when she's in Jill's room right before Olivia dies, and Rebecca's phone call. I thought those were really good. Do I think Billy's dad is going to have some importance to Sam? I would like to see Hank Loomis again for sure. He is Sam's grandpa. I wonder if he's still alive, what's going on with him. How did he react after finding out that not only his son, but his ex-wife were killers? I wish we could see Hank Loomis again for sure. Worst to best motive? Let's see. I mean, I feel like Mrs. Loomis's motive was pretty good. I mean, revenge for her son's death. It makes sense to me. Honestly, Mickey probably has the worst motive. He was just in it for fun. I liked Jill's motive a lot. She just wanted fans. Maybe I'll do a video ranking the motives. I think this is going to be it for me today, guys. We've been going for like an hour and a half. It's been so much fun. I really love doing live streams. I appreciate you tuning in. I will definitely do another one soon. Stay tuned for some more videos. I have a couple filmed already. I'm working on editing them and getting them up. And if you don't know, I do now have the option to become a member of my channel. If you're interested, you can click the join button and check out the different levels. If you don't want to join, that's fine. It won't affect anything. I will still upload my usual content. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a really good day. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.